I'm here in the neighborhood. My family ordered pizza. I just came here to pick it up. Um, I was gonna make a video while driving, but my girlfriend doesn't like that, so I'm just waiting out here. They're supposed to text me when the pizza's ready, but they haven't texted me yet. It is. I don't even know what time it is, but last time I checked, it was like 1:52. The pizza's supposed to be ready at 2 o'clock, so I'll just sit out here until they text me, or if it's 2 o'clock, I'll go inside and see what's up. But yeah. So on the way here, I was listening to this one musician. I can't pronounce his name. I really like his music, but I just can't pronounce his name. I want to try to pronounce it. I think it's Vijay Iyer. He's like a jazz musician, right? I've been getting to jazz a lot recently. Just trying to listen to music, listen to all the classic stuff, all the new jazz, all that stuff. And I have a question. Um, so my question is with jazz. The one thing I just realized is I kind of realized why jazz is kind of like a controversial thing. Although I don't feel like it's as controversial as it used to be. But I used to be like, why do people hate jazz music? I love jazz music. Like, I would just like go into the elevator, have like that jazz music play. I'm like, yeah, I can get jiggy to this and all that different kind of stuff. You know, when you're in like the nice fancy restaurant, jazz is playing. There was some dust flying and I blew it. So like I said, you're in like the nice fancy restaurant and jazz is playing. You're like, oh, this is nice. I'm like, so why do people hate jazz music? But then I started listening to it. I'm like, oh, I kind of get it now, because I guess what I was listening to before was like smooth jazz, where it's kind of like nicer and it sounds nice with like the saxophone and the guitars and stuff. But now once I kind of delve deeper into jazz music, I'm like, oh, I kind of understand why it's kind of not a controversial thing, but I kind of understand why people don't really like it, because it thrives off of not offbeat, but I would rather say it thrives off playing the wrong notes technically. Like you're listening to it, you're like, oh, this is a nice piano. Then I know where and you're like, oh, that sounds weird. Like I saw a YouTube comment, and the best way, and that YouTube comment was like the best description of jazz I've heard. The comment said, jazz music sounds like talented musicians playing the wrong notes on purpose. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is perfect. Cause I've had a problem with jazz music. My thing is, I've been trying to get into it recently, but there's so many different kinds of jazz music, it just kind of confuses me. Like, there's jazz fusion, which is kind of like, I know what it is now. It's kind of like jazz mixed with like different genres. Like, Snarky Puppy is a good example. Like when I started listening to Snarky Puppy, I was like, I really like this stuff. I thought it was jazz music. Well, their first album was really jazz based, but their later stuff is kind of more like electronic and weird stuff. So that's like jazz fusion, and there's jazz swing, which is like happy jazz. I hate jazz swing. I cannot listen to it. I hate jazz swing with a passion. There's smooth jazz, which I really like. Dark jazz, all that fun stuff. But I'm getting off topic. So my main question is, what does like objective jazz sound like? Because because I know swing is a subgenre, I know smooth is a subgenre, I know jazz fusion is definitely a subgenre. Jazz fusion is just jazz mixed with like different other genres, like Thank You Scientist or Snarky Puppy. And I guess that's kind of like the new metal of jazz music. Like, you know how people for metal fans, like how like let's say like Slipknot or Korn, pure metal fans are like, oh, Slipknot, Korn, that's not real metal, that's new metal, because you know it's kind of like metal mixed with like hip hop or deathcore, or not deathcore, death metal, or electronic or reggae, like all that different stuff. So there's kind of like a riff for that, which I understand, but I still don't. I've been listening to jazz for a couple weeks now, heavily. Like I've gone back and listened to like Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, D-Lo Monk is a jazz piano player that I've been really enjoying. I still feel like, even these past few weeks, I still feel like I don't know what, like, I guess I don't know what like pure jazz sounds like to the super jazz fans, like the people who like only listen to jazz. There's like so many different sounds. It's just kind of confusing. And jazz has been around for a long time. Like I think for like 90 years, maybe even 100 years, dating back to the 1920s. Jazz has been around for a long time. And with classic rock, I mean, I'm a huge classic rock fan, so I could pretty much go back and tell you like the complete history of classic rock, like how it started in the 40s. Black musicians were kind of making rock with Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Buddy Holly. Then Elvis Presley came, made jazz, made rock super popular, and then the Beatles took it, then the Rolling Stones, the Who, Led Zeppelin, all those bands came in like the 60s and 70s. Like I can pretty much tell you like the entire history of classic rock and rock music in general. But jazz, like, the reason why it took me so long to get into it, because I've been wanting to listen to jazz music seriously for years now, is because it's just like so expansive. Like there's just so many decades and decades and decades. It's just kind of overwhelming to me. Like where do I start with? Like I said, this genre is like almost 100 years old. Like where do I start? Where do I even begin? So it's just been kind of a struggle with me. So I have a question to all my 4 or 5 subscribers who listen to me. If any of you listen to jazz or like a serious jazz expert, probably none of you are. But if you are, I would like some advice. Tell me what I should listen to. I've been on Reddit listening to like different opinions on what I should check out and stuff. But I would like to get a closer. I would like to get more exposure to it. But like I said, I've really been enjoying that guy's name again, Vijay Iyer. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I love his music. I just can't pronounce his name. That's embarrassing. But like I said, I really like his music, so I've kind of been checking out people he's been influenced by. I guess he's kind of a hot topic in the jazz community. I see like a lot of people praising him, but also like a lot of fans are like, oh, he's not that special. He's a mediocre. He's average. I really enjoy his music. So I guess I'm kind of, I guess I'm obviously a fan of him, but I don't know if that's like pure jazz, because like I said, if jazz fans think he's like not all that great, like, and I think he's great, but jazz fans say he's not that great. Like actual jazz fans, I mean, I am a jazz fan, but I mean like seasoned hardcore jazz fans. If hardcore jazz fans don't think he's all that great, then what are they listening to? That's what I want to know. Charlie Parker and Miles Davis, I like those guys, but I kind of want to listen to like a newer jazz artist. What I usually do is I listen to newer artists, then I kind of go back and see what their influences are. Like, say for example, if I like Lady Gaga, she said her 2 biggest influences were David Bowie and Madonna. So I'm like, okay, I'll check those people out. Listen to David Bowie, he's my favorite musician. Listen to Madonna, love her stuff. Obviously, I had that dream about her trying to seduce me or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, I almost dropped my phone. But what do jazz fans like? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I really like Vijay Iyer. But I guess like I said, some people like him, some people don't. I want to know what the people who don't like him, I want to know what they listen to, because I want to get like a wide variety of like jazz music. So that's my little ramble. So yeah, I'm going to go in and get that pizza, see if it's ready. I still haven't gotten the text message. It's 30 degrees out here. This is all I'm wearing. A flannel and a hat. I know what you're saying. Oh, Josh, you always wear flannels. Yes, I always wear flannels. That's what I wear all the time. Either flannels or sweaters. And this flannel is one of the nicest shirts I have. So, yeah, I'm going to go and see if my pizza's ready. Yeah, peace.